Yo guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm super excited for you tuning in today because today I'm going to talk about something that I don't usually talk about, at least not on my YouTube channel. Yeah, I've mentioned it a couple times on my Instagram. If you're following me there, you've probably seen it. And I'm going to talk about squatting. My plan was to do a how-to video on a new trick this week, but I hucked a double backflip to completely flat the other day, so my foot is still a bit wrecked from that, but I'm all good. I'm back riding in a few days. So yeah, the subject of the day is going to be squatting. And this is something I've been doing since February this year, almost every day. I try to squat for a couple of minutes every day in a resting squatting position. And for those of you who are not familiar with what that is, this is how it looks like. So, why do we need squatting? Yeah, the main reason, or the number one reason we need it in our day and age, is because we spend so much time, as I do now, we spend so much time sitting on chairs. And sitting on a chair might seem like a good resting position, but it's not. And the reason for that is because our bones and joints and muscles aren't supporting themselves in a natural way when we sit in a chair. And there was actually a former NASA scientist, his name was Dr. Joan Vernikos. He said that, or he compared sitting on a chair for a couple of hours with being weightless in space. So that's how little we use our muscles when we sit. So sitting triggers your butt muscles to do absolutely nothing. They completely shut off when we sit, and they get used to kind of not activating normally anymore. And what that does is that it makes us worse at doing regular movements like running, jumping, walking, you name it. And so that's why squatting is so important with how we live today. So what's the benefits of squatting? Number one, and this one is actually the one that I think is the most important, and the first one is flexibility. So yeah, what it does when you squat is that it stretches out some of the most crucial parts in your body that you need to do almost any activity. And those parts are the ankles, the knees, the hips, and also the lower back. And yeah, I can say for myself that before I started squatting, I couldn't even sit in that position for a second without falling over. So it only took like 2 weeks. It was kind of a quick process to learn how to sit in a squat position, and I feel how much more soft and how much more loosened up I was in my body, and it felt great to do bike riding, to go out for a run, and yeah, I can really feel the benefits of it. So flexibility is number one. Number two, body alignment. And this is a really important one for us who is doing, I can only talk for myself, but for extreme sport athletes, I think, most of you, it's really good because sometimes we feel like we have stuff out of place in our body, in our backs or in our knees or hips or stuff like that. And what squatting does is that it loosens up the muscles, and when the muscles get more flexible and more loosened up, it allows more blood to flow through them. And when the blood flows through the muscles, it helps your body with the natural healing process of getting stuff back into place. So you don't always have to go to the chiropractor every time you feel like something is out of place. So that's a really good one. Body alignment, number two. So the third one and the last one that I'm going to mention about squatting, there's so many benefits with it, I must say. But the third one that I think is one of the most important ones is also dedicated to you riders out there because it helps with lower back pain. And I know for myself for a fact that when I ride for a few hours a day for a couple of days straight, I will most certainly have lower back pain, and it's because it gets tense. You stand in a position where you flex your lower back a lot when you ride, and yeah, what it does with squatting is that it helps the circulation to go back to the lower back, to go down to the lower back. And that will loosen up the tension, and it will release the pain as well. And I can only talk from experience because I've done this myself, and it works really, really good. So I can totally recommend you to start squatting, especially if you're a rider, but all of us should do it. And how often do you do it? For me personally, I try and do it 2 to 3 minutes between 1 and 2 times every day. And how I remember it is that when I wake up in the morning, you should have a trigger that makes you remember it. So one of my triggers is when I brush my teeth, I sit down in squat position and just brush the teeth for 2 minutes. That's a perfect way. And also in the evening, you can do it when you brush your teeth. So try and find triggers that you do every day and try and remember squatting every time you do that. So brushing your teeth is a good one. And that's it for this time, guys. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope that you will start squatting now because the benefits are humongous. And yeah, I almost forgot. The Motion brand, Lucas Knopf, my friend from Germany, he's created this amazing clothing brand. So go check them out. Really awesome clothes. The material is epic. themotionbrand.com and Lucas Knopf on Instagram. Next video, how-to video again. So if you have any ideas on a trick you want to see or anything like that, just leave me a comment or write me a PM on my Instagram. See you in the next one.